Hi, welcome to Savers Beats and Brews. I'm Kimberly. Normally you see Todd, but I wanted to show you a custom Gibson that I got. I actually got it a couple years ago, back in 2023, as a honeymoon present to myself. For the record, Gibson does not sponsor this video, nor do they pay for this guitar, nor do they have anything to do with this. In 2023, we went to the Gibson Garage in Nashville. It was an amazing experience. If you haven't been, you just gotta go. It's really cool. Nothing like it around. And then of course, while you're in Nashville, you can go to Carter's and all the other amazing guitar places up there. But I just wanted to share my custom shop experience as a non-Gibson artist, you know, just going in off the street. The customer service was amazing. So our rep was Matt Boyer. I don't know if he still works there. I think he may be doing his own business ventures now, but while he was there, or if he ever goes back, he was great. He walked us through every step of the process, and was very clear on what you can and can't do. So I'm going to compare this to if you've ever been to Disney World, to the lightsaber experience. You have these cookie cutter things that you can choose from. And outside of that, the answer is no. I will tell you that I got told no a lot. We can't do that. Because if I was, you know, Taylor Swift or anybody else, you know, Carrie Underwood, any of these big artists, Miranda Lambert, you know, they're going to do exactly what those artists want. And I just feel like if you got the money, regardless of who you are, Gibson should do those custom experiences for people who are coming in to buy their guitars. So we'll start off with the first thing in the process. You choose your body. And I just got really super lucky, I think. That they had a piece of wood that I liked. So I knew I wanted a quilt top. They only had 2 or 3 options for quilt top. And so, you know, of course I asked, I was like, hey, is there any more in the back? You know, anything like that. And of course the answer was no. The board that comes down that shows you all of the wood that they have, like that is the wood they have for that day. Or that week, or whenever they get a restock in. So if you don't like what they have in the shop, you know, if you're local, yeah, you can keep going back and wait for a piece of wood that you want. If you're not, if you're like us, who we live 8 hours away, you know, we're not going there every month to see, oh, is my perfect piece of wood in? But I lucked out, so I got the quilt top. I knew what color I wanted for the front. I knew I wanted this pink. I think it's like a fuchsia pink or something. I knew I wanted that, so I looked up there. I didn't want to burst. I wanted to be able to see the top, so that was great. And Matt, even for the back, he even helped me pick out the color because, again, I wanted to be able to see the wood grain. And this is just a great, you can see every piece of wood grain in it. They did the belly cut. Like, I am not a skinny mini, so that was great as well. And it is one of the lighter bodies. I have no aspirations to carry around a 10-pound guitar. Just not, no. You know, the knobs, as far as hardware, you know, again, you can choose from what Gibson has in stock. They are not going to make or order specialty knobs for me off the street. You are going to be able to pick between, I think it was 3 or 4 different types of knobs. So not wanting to take away from the body, I picked clear. I did it all in chrome, and I ended up getting the Gibson Custom Buckers, which I love. They are a good all-around, especially for rhythm. I actually set this one up in a drop D configuration with the heavy gauge strings for the top 3. And it sounds amazing as just a drop D guitar, I can tell you that. But it also is a very great, when I was using it for standard tuning, I could switch from country to rock, and wasn't too high, wasn't too dark. It was just a really good overall sound, which is what I was looking for. And so then we kind of came in, I think we did the neck profiles. So that was really great. You get to sit there and they have like 6 or 8 necks, something like that. And you grab them and you get to really tell the difference on these necks. I have little girl hands, so I didn't want a thick, chunky neck. I need to be able to actually reach all the strings. So I did not go with the thinnest neck profile that they have. That was actually too thin. I went with the next size up. And that's been one of my chief problems with guitars is normally when I'm shopping around, neck profiles are a big deal. And if you don't know what's comfortable for you, you can end up with a guitar that looks amazing, sounds amazing, but you can't play, it's not comfortable for you to play. So you end up not using it, not playing it, and you just sell it, or it just sits and collects dust because it's uncomfortable for you to play. So that was really nice that I got to sit down, do that, and I'm like, all right, great, super comfortable, moving on. So the neck, I know you can't tell from the video, but it is a sanded neck. So this is what I got told. I said I wanted a satin neck and immediately got told, can't do that. But what they did do, I forget which artist it was, but they had sanded the guy's neck to pretty much, they did a light sand on it. So he did. So Matt went above and beyond, and he found a Gibson artist that they had sanded the neck on his custom shop. And so once they found that, they were like, all right, we have done that before, we'll do it for her. And then of course, because it comes from the custom shop, you know, they do that logo on the top. Well, I just wanted something pretty. Like, I didn't want that. I just think it's ugly, right? So I was like, hey, can we do anything else? Can we do a flower? Can we do, you know, a symbol, you know, just a different symbol, anything? And the answer was no. Tree of Life. I don't know why they tried to talk me out of it. They were like, well, you're going to have to wait longer too. Instead of getting your guitar in 6 months, you're going to have to wait 9 months. Again, no problem. I wanted the Tree of Life. This is, you know, my custom experience. I want the guitar to be exactly what I want so I can stop, you know, buying a bunch of different guitars that aren't meeting my criteria. I would rather have one really good guitar that meets all my criteria, and I'm like, check, check, check. I can stop buying guitars, right? Right. And of course, that is just an aspect for visual purposes. It's not doing anything for anybody, but that's something that I wanted. I wanted a guitar with a Tree of Life on it. Actually, my first request was to have my name on it. You know, I wanted Kimberly across the fretboard, you know, like you've seen with Johnny Cash and, you know, all those guys, you know, they have a fretboard with their name on it. So I asked multiple times. I was like, are you sure I can't get my name? Are you sure I can't get my name? And they just, no, 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 no. So that was a little heartbreaking because honestly, that would be really, really cool for you to be able to walk into the Gibson shop and say,
you know, I want my fretboard done with my name on it.
Even if you brought in a Gibson and had them strip it and put on a new fretboard, like, it should just be an option, right? Yeah. So next best thing was Tree of Life, of course. Even the tuners, you know, I mentioned before, everything's chromed out. All the tuners are chromed. And it also comes with this little cool cover for that. It came with a regular like black one if you wanted to change it out to like keep that one, but I'm like, you know, might as well, right? So all in all, it is a great experience. There are limitations, and it would have been kind of good to know, that way I could temper down what I thought they could do, because I thought you could go in there and it would really be custom. But again, the customer service was great. Matt was great. And it took exactly the amount of time that they said it would take. They said because of the Tree of Life, it would take 9 months. I think it came in like right at the 9-month mark. As soon as it got to Nashville at the Gibson Garage, they took video, they took photos, everything, and sent it to me before I even scheduled to go get it. They said they would ship it, but I was not risking. So we made another trip to go out there and pick up the guitar, just to, you know, there and back. But sent tons of video and everything before. That way, if there was anything wrong with the guitar, we didn't make that huge trip just to be like, not what I wanted. So, you know, keep it, right? But everything looked good. The only thing I will say is their quality control is a little lacking. Some of the bleed over on the black at the binding, right here at the top as well. Hopefully you can see it. right here, some overspray looking type stuff. Am I happy with it? Yes. Do I wish everything was absolutely, completely, 100% perfect as far as those little things on the black with the binding? But it is a really cool experience to pick out a piece of wood, pick out your pickups, you know, do the hardware up how you want. You know, and for what it's worth, you know, you get a little bit of flexibility on the fretboard to put what you want on there. Now, I didn't get to sit down and like pick out this design. Like it's actually a third party that does it. Gibson doesn't even do it. They send it off to a third party. This third party does the Tree of Life. It gets sent back and then they put it on the guitar. So I didn't get to sit there and like draw out the design or like pick a design of the Tree of Life. It was just whatever that artist did that day to that fretboard, which is also kind of cool. Hopefully, that part hopefully is custom, and they're not doing all of them exactly the same. Or I could be wrong, and it's a template, and there's like 10,000 guitars with the same Tree of Life. If you have any questions or comments, leave it below, and we'll get back to you. And hopefully, this was informative and helps some people out on your expectations if you do plan on going to the Gibson Garage. Bye.